Hi, David, you're here and we see your screen already.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How are you? So, well, the stance of that the comfort is the enemy of growth can be applied to pretty much anything. So I would really love to see how that applies to localization space. And I know that you are going to share some interesting stories from your professional and personal life. So I'm all ears and the microphone is yours.
Thank you, Igor, and thank you, Smartcat, for putting together this from work from home event. It has been fantastic. I have been hearing the other speakers, and all of them have been wonderful. And I'm very grateful to Kate for helping me with this and helping us all to connect as well. Let me talk a little bit very quickly about myself. My background is in international business and economics. I founded the US Translation Company in 1995, and I'm the current CEO of the company. During these 25 years in business, we have received multiple awards, including the Inc. 505,000 award for fastest growing companies in America. We did receive this 6 times, which is something I'm very proud of. And as well, I also serve in multiple international, national, and also local boards within universities, NGOs, and corporations. And I am also the current honorary consul of Peru in Utah. So let's go to the topic of comfort, the enemy of growth. This is a personal topic that I have experienced myself, and my goal here is to share my experience with this and also share some stories that you can relate with. Is taking risks to create a path to success. And I want to emphasize the word path because it's not like you do one thing and you get success and then that's the end of the story. I feel like a success is more like a journey, and it's a path that you have to walk. And in that path, there is challenges, there is failures, and there is a lot of changes on the people that are around you, changes on maybe customers that you'll be working with, or changes in your strategy. And those changes that happen to you by design or by way of that life is that way, it can create discomfort. And I wanted to discuss that with you. About what is that is happening there. First of all, one of the things that can create this discomfort that we have been talking about is technologies. And technologies can become your best friends, or in many cases, in order to adapt this technology, can be very painful. However, the rewards can be great. The rewards, you may not see it at the beginning because technologies, in order to adapt them, it requires you to invest time and invest money and invest into motivating and convincing the team to also adapt this and to work and make the changes. You have to be curious enough to explore how your business can improve and be more efficient and be more productive. The next item is on the importance of challenging yourself and your team. Many times we feel like let's bring this super amazing person that can be a salesperson, and then all of a sudden, after hiring this person, we are going to be very successful in sales, and we are going to become all very rich. That is really not a realistic strategy or approach. The truth is that you have to be very good at multiple things, and that doesn't happen by you doing that yourself. What I'm trying to say is that you personally can be great at perhaps one or two things, and be probably okay or good at maybe four or six other things. However, when you put together a team, and the team is diverse, you can have like 10 members of your team, and they can do one or two things very great. And now you're having a team and a group of people that are doing 10 or 20 things at a very high level of greatness. So is a team really what is going to take your company or your organization to the next level, and to help you to grow in many ways, of course. And the next thing I wanted to say is that success is achieved through your team. Again, this is not all about you. Every year, at the end of the year, we update what we call our strategic plan. This is a strategic plan that goes for 3 years, and we do their changes, and some of the things that we discuss very often as part of these changes is about potential challenges, potential things that can go maybe wrong for us, and if those things that we identify go wrong, what do we do? How do we mitigate the challenge? How do we overcome this challenge that we have in front of us? And it's not all about talking about challenges. Also, a challenge can be what happens if we grow outside our capacity. What do we do on that regard? So success can be painful too, and you have to plan for that as well. It doesn't come free, and I just want you to know that you can overcome all of these challenges easier if you do it as a team. To illustrate some of the things I have been talking about, I would like to talk about the car industry. It's a 100-year-old industry that hasn't evolved very much in the 100 years, except for the last 5 years. And the last 5 years, there have been the introduction of the electric vehicles, and these electric vehicles have become a commodity, and they have to receive a lot of traction. A lot of the people have been going after those cars for multiple reasons, for environmental reasons, because it's more cost effective, you name it. But it has created this market that desires that type of vehicles. And this is not something that is going to be here with us for the next few years, but it's going to be for the next many years to come. And as you can see here in this graphic, what was the demand in 2015 versus in 2020 and versus what is going to be in 2025. We also want to talk about within this car industry is that stepping aside your comfort zone, because that means that car manufacturers outside Tesla, now they have to adapt, and they have to accept that this is the future. And then they have to ask themselves the question, can I survive if I don't accept this technology change? Will this cannibalize sales for gas cars? What does this mean for the future of my company? Those are the questions that these car manufacturers are asking themselves. And here's a sample of some of those companies that are making a big difference in the electric car manufacturing. Like Tesla, for example, Nikola, and some of these cars, you may be familiar, they're Europeans. So as I was saying, like cars, for example, like Ford Motors, they have invested $4.5 billion to build this technology. We have also their Mercedes-Benz, $2 billion, so they can remain competitive. Volkswagen has done something similar too, and of course General Motors too. All of them have made a significant investment. They have made significant changes in their business model, and all so they can remain relevant, and they don't become obsolete to the market. That is something that I would like to share with you that happened to myself. I created this technology of remote simultaneous interpretation, which you have heard about that during this conference. I did this technology 3 years ago. A good portion of our business was focused on doing on-site live interpretation events, and we were doing that everywhere, not just here in the United States, but around the world. But we thought, you know what, there may be a need for some people to do this remotely. Not all can go and make this flight to this event, and not all can be in multiple places at the same time. So we created this remote platform. 3 years ago, we did that. We were very excited, and we started to offer this to our customers, and no traction. What was the reply of our customers? They say, no, we only do things in a remote way, in a live on-site way, and it's not going to be the same for us to do things virtually or remotely. So this great idea, this great investment, basically didn't help us very much. And we actually thought, let's just go with what we were doing before, and we were considering this maybe not the right timing. But then COVID came, and as you know, live events they stopped because of the prohibition in gatherings, and then that's why I thought, oh my goodness, this is the perfect scenario now to have our remote simultaneous interpretation solution. And of course, we need to make some changes within the platform, and we need to do a branding, and we did all of that for sure. And it took us about 90 days to do all of this work that it was needed. However, as a result of adapting to the circumstances that we were living, and we actually were able to complete and to see a 63% growth in our company as a result of just offering that, rather than basically being dead as a company. So this is something that I'm very proud of, that we were able to adapt quickly to the demand and the needs of the market. Something happened similar also in the translation industry. When I started this company 25 years ago, that was the big thing was translation memories. And I remember our translators, they were pushing back very hard, saying, oh, this is not what we want, this is not what we need. And it was a threat for them. And the same thing we can see even today with machine translation or with other technologies, where we are kind of pushing back. The funny thing is that, or the amazing thing was that translation tools like translation memories and glossaries became the best friends of translators. They were able to be more profitable. They got more work, and it was something that they really helped them a lot. There are some emerging technologies like a speech-enabled and headless devices, semantically enriched content, machine-generated content even, and many things that you have here during this conference that are there. What I will suggest to you is to be curious. If you see something that you can implement, go for it. Be an early adopter. There is big rewards for those that are adopting technologies into their business model very, very, very quickly. Embracing new technologies, challenge yourself, and success is achieved through your team. Thank you very much, and I will hope to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you so much, David. This is really insightful. We'll be waiting for questions in our Q&A tab. Please, everybody, don't be shy and ask your questions. We have one which is not very serious, but still it was asked by two people simultaneously, so I will read it anyways. The question is, how in the world did you get the name like US Translation Company?
That's a good question. Well, as I told you, I started this company 25 years ago, and I was one of those that wanted to come up to be creative with a name. and I just did it. And at the time we have a domain name that nobody was taking it. Everything was there. So I wanted to be people in the United States to feel like identified with us, and I think that's how it is. Then of course we were part of this globalized world, and I wanted to become more global. And people were telling me, and I thought actually maybe I have to change my name now because it's not about the US anymore. It's about the entire world. But many people told me, you know what, that's a good name. Keep it. That we will like it, and that's how we stay there. And hopefully you like the name. I like it. And
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Don't change that ever.
Yeah.
Okay. So and everybody's like in the chat, everybody says they love the name. So yeah, you're spot on. So you were talking a lot about technology, and technology is usually a disruptor, right? So you have some important events or some new technology emerges, and you are forced to do the next step and reshape your business and your like focus on something else, right? So what do you see as some like next technologies that can be such disruptors? What are we have to be curious about like right now to step out of our comfort zone and do some important steps to prepare for a future?
Yeah, there is some technologies that are doing automatic, like for example, captioning and in multiple languages in simultaneous. I think that's a very important technology, especially in the world where we live, where we do everything like we are right now, virtually conferences where we are speaking and communicating. I think that is something that I would like you to be looking into and be more curious about it. There is a need, there is a big demand out there. I think that's one that comes to my mind. Another one is the things that has to do with the creation of content and using neural machine for that, where the machine is learning how to generate content to begin with. In the past, it was exclusively something that was done by a human being, and then you can use technology to translate like that. Nowadays, there are things that are actually machine that's creating the content himself, and that is fascinating to me. So I will be curious on that. Those are the two things, but there are many other things, not just in the language industry. It can be also applied in marketing, which is something we can use. A lot of marketing nowadays is being automated. Basically, the machine is doing it for you. And the machine is doing it even better and faster and more effectively than a person. So I will also look into that, how to market yourself and using automation for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Before we go to the next question, can you please stop sharing the screen so we can see you?
Yes.
In full frame? And I think we have more questions here. So PayPal, I don't know the full name of the person, asks, voice localization is an emerging service, I guess, like there's a typo, the emerging service requested across industries. Is your company involved in that yet, David?
Yes, as I was saying, this is part of the captioning that I was talking to you about, where there is a person speaking, and it can be live or it can be pre-recorded, and then there is the automatic translation on it. Now it's not 100% accurate, but it's getting closer. It can reach out to a 95% even, depending on the language. But that's something that we are working on that, and we are seeing a lot of traction, a lot of demand for that, more than ever, especially at this particular time where we are living because of the pandemic and because of the need of doing everything virtually. Yes, that's something that look into it. All of this is exciting. That means more opportunities for all of us. That doesn't mean that more opportunities to me as my company, because I can tell you that this is something that I cannot do it on my own. This is something that everybody can be part of it, everybody can benefit from it, and that's the beautiful thing of being in this industry.
So I very like your positive attitude, right? So you're like in interpreting industry specifically, and there are lots of technical advancements in terms of like text to speech, speech to text recognition, like all the different engines that allow you to automate pretty much anything, right? Don't you feel scary about this new chapter in like technology advancements? You seem to be not, but what's your secret sauce to that?
Yes, and you know the reason why I'm not is because of my experience in the past. As I say in my presentation, 25 years ago, everybody was scared about MTs, you know, or TMs. I'm sorry, translation memories. Oh, this is going to now disrupt the whole industry. Translators were feeling like I am not going to be able to make as much money as before. And because of the discounts I have to give for repetitions, it's going to be less profitable. LSPs were thinking the same thing, and basically they were not embracing that. And then finally, when they were forced also almost to embrace it because of competition was embracing it, and they were early adopters, and you were now becoming more relevant, they did that, and then it became their best friend for LSPs and also for translators. And we have seen these type of disruptions are not happening today. It has happened for many, many years. I've been in the business for 25 years, so I have seen multiple disruptions already. And this year we are seeing even more. And in 5 years or 10 years from now, we will see even more than you can imagine even. So I would say be an early adopter. That is the secret for growth. And it's okay to be not comfortable. Again, comfort is the enemy of growth. If you are in a place where you want to say, this is the way I have done it, this is my business model, and I have done it this way for 10 years, and I have been successful, and I don't want to make changes because of whatever reasons you may have, be careful with that mentality. Be open to changes and be fast, agile to adapt to those changes.
Okay, thank you so much. So just before our talk, we were talking with Renato Benenato about like finding your niche. Do you think that finding the niche is a good strategy to like step out of your comfort zone, do something different and succeed?
Yeah, specialization is something very, very important. It is true, you cannot be best at everything. I did say that in my presentation too. And even if you put together a team where they can be very good at multiple things, the truth is that if you're specialized and you focus on that area of the market where there's a need, you will be more successful, especially when you're doing marketing. If you become too general, then you may have general inquiries, you know. But if you become very specific, let's just say that you want to go into the e-learning market, you have to compose and you have to create content that will make you relevant to that particular industry, that you have authority in that industry, and where you can build, you can create trust. So whoever is in that industry will feel, I want to go with the US translation because they specialize in e-learning and they have been working on that for many, with many customers, with many clients or competitors that we know, and I want to work with them too. So I agree on that. I will also caution, however, this is the part that I will say too, is that I will not do only one area of specialization. I would like to choose 3 or 4 of them. I know that that is not specialization and that's not focus anymore, but what I don't want to see is somebody focusing, for example, only on the restaurant industry or the hotel industry, because something like this happened, like COVID, and then you may not be in business anymore. So I would say that yes, become focused, but it's just pick 3 industries or so, and I think that's good enough.
Thank you. So I think we have time for one more question, maybe 2. So this one comes from Kevin McGuire, And Kevin asks you, where do you see live events in 6 months, 1 year, and the future, a hybrid situation? So to expand on that, the COVID situation kind of allowed you to reshape some of the things. So what do you see like the affect, the aftermath of that?
Yes, I believe in 6 months from now, people will have people, meaning the event planners or the event organizers will have adapt already to what is happening. The need for conferences, for live events, is not going to stop. It's not going to be replaced either by virtual events either. There is going to happen. It may not happen in 6 months from now, but I will say that you will see some hybrid events. I am already experiencing that today, where there is a hybrid of having a live event with a stage and everything happening, but the audience is remotely working. So we have the gear, the equipment, all of things on the side, even interpreters there. So for us, it's like being a live event, but the audience is not there. I feel that there will be audience starting to attend as things become, as the vaccine come out and things becomes more like a normal. We feel to adapt into the new normality. And but in a year from now, I do feel strongly that we will see those live events that we're causing happening. Again, that is that doesn't mean that virtual events are going to be obsolete or are going to be gone. No, I think virtual events are here to stay and are here to stay forever. They are not going to disappear, but live events also will happen at the same time. This is a beautiful thing, for sure.
Well, thank you so much, David. It was really insightful, really inspiring, and I love your energy about the topic that you're presenting.